Every great empire has an origin story, but few begin with a child who could not walk, a prince mocked as weak, and a future king driven into exile. This is the true story of Sundiata Keita, the man who rose from hardship to unite West Africa and lay the foundation of one of the greatest empires the world has ever known. Sundiata was born in the early 13th century into a royal family in the region that would become Mali. His father was a king. His destiny was foretold. But from childhood, Sundiata appeared cursed by fate. He could not walk. While other children ran and trained for war, Sundiata crawled. He was ridiculed. His mother was humiliated, and rivals whispered that he would never rule. In a world where kings were judged by strength, Sundiata was seen as unfit. After his father's death, power was seized by rivals. Sundiata and his mother were forced into exile. They wandered from kingdom to kingdom, living as guests, sometimes as beggars, always as outsiders. But exile did not break Sundiata. It shaped him. He studied people. He learned diplomacy. He observed how different kingdoms rule, their strengths, their failures, and their injustices. And one day, Sundiata stood. According to oral tradition, he rose by sheer will, lifting himself with an iron rod. From that moment, his destiny changed. As Sundiata grew, so did his strength. He trained as a warrior. He earned respect as a leader, and he gathered allies across the land. Meanwhile, his homeland suffered. A ruthless ruler named Sumaoro Kante terrorized the region, burning villages, enslaving people, and ruling through fear. The people remembered Sundiata, and they called him back. Sundiata returned not as a boy, but as a commander. He united rival clans, former enemies, and scattered peoples. His strength was not only in battle, it was in unity. In 1235, Sundiata faced Sumaoro at the Battle of Kirina. Against overwhelming odds, Sundiata's forces defeated the tyrant. That victory changed history. After the battle, Sundiata did something rare. He did not rule through terror. He ruled through law. He established the Kurukan Fuga Charter, one of the world's earliest known constitutional systems. This charter protected human life, women's rights, property ownership, social harmony, and justice across clans. Power was shared. Leaders were accountable. No king ruled alone. Under Sundiata, the Mali Empire was born. Trade routes were secured. Gold and salt flowed safely. Agriculture thrived. But more importantly, people trusted the system. Sundiata believed that an empire could not survive on conquest alone. It needed fairness. It needed balance. It needed memory. That is why his story was preserved by griots, oral historians who passed his legacy from generation to generation. Sundiata ruled not as a god-king, but as a unifier. He respected tradition. He honored elders. He protected the weak. His empire would later reach its peak under Mansa Musa, but it was Sundiata who laid the foundation. Without Sundiata, there would be no Mali Empire. Sundiata Keita proved that greatness is not defined by how you begin, but by how you rise. He turned weakness into strength. exile into wisdom, and suffering into unity. His story reminds us that true leadership is not about domination. It is about building systems that outlive you. This was Sundiata Keita, the king who stood up and lifted an empire with him.